So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another collaboration album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And tonight I'm joined by Hail Satan herself. I mean, Senorita Sabrosura.
Hi,
Sure. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Hailing Satan.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny about that shirt? It says "Hail Satan," but you have all the colors. It looks like it could be like a Care Bears shirt or something.
I know. Actually, this is a shirt from Placebo.
Nice.
It doesn't say Placebo, only like a little corner that says Placebo, like tiny. But I like the black and pink. But what I like about the shirt was the explanation. They were explaining that it's not hail Satan like Satan per se. It's more like an attitude towards life, like be yourself and be unique. Like it's not Satan per se. So I like it, so I bought it.
Plus, it's pink. But people, we're not here to talk about shirts. Well, if anyone's interested, I'm wearing a shirt with some flamingos, and it's very chill. So I put it. But we're talking about the third act of Smashing Pumpkins' rock opera Atom. And if you've been following us the last months, we've reviewed Act 1 and Act 2. So now we're reviewing Act 3. So what we're going to do on this video is we're going to talk about Act 3. Then we're going to talk about the album as a whole experience, now having had everything together and our thoughts. So bear with us because we may talk a lot of crap and shit on this video. So, Senorita, what were your first initial thoughts on the third act of Atom?
Well, I listened to the act three, and then I listened to the whole album, and then again to the act three. I listened a couple of times. And what can I say? I like Act Two. No, I I was hoping for something like better, but I think it has like a lot of fillers. It wasn't strong enough, and for me, I was expecting like an epic finale to finish the album strong, because they kept saying, "Oh no, wait for Act Two, wait for Act Three." But for me, it didn't finish strong. What were your thoughts?
And as a man, you never want to listen to that. You didn't finish strong. No, I'm joking.
I'm
So,
sorry. I'm sorry, Billy Corgan. Well, no, I'm sorry, William Patrick, because now he's asking not to call him Billy.
oh my God.
I'm sorry, William, but you
Whatever.
didn't finish strong for me.
Well, I gotta say too, Act 3 was like, meh. I was like, yeah, it was like he didn't finish strong for me, for me either. Like Billy didn't give it to me. I'm like, Billy, come on, William, give me what you promised. Give me that, like you promised me a follow-up to Melancholy and the fucking Infinite Sadness. And what did I get?
Filipina.
I didn't even get a melon. I'm like, it's 33 songs, and like something that is really strange about this album is that like on every, like the only, they had the singles that they put out were promising, but besides the singles there's so much filler on this album, like
Yeah.
too much. I think 33 songs, it's bloated. It's a story that I don't give a fuck about. Like, we'll talk about tracks because there's some tracks that they mentioned the Zero character, like I don't remember which track, but he's like Zero,
Yeah, I
Zero, like
remember.
reminded you, hey, Zero is a character. I'm like, I just liked it when Zero was a song of Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, and it was
Yeah.
like a 2 minute and 30 seconds of pure awesomeness. But yeah, this third act First of all, it starts with a song called Sojourner, which is like an 8-minute snooze fest.
8 minutes. Wow, I
8
know.
minutes snooze fest. It like goes fucking nowhere musically, and lyric, like, even the lyrics aren't. It's it's a bad start to a third act. I thought, like, what is this song? Because, like, for example, like, this is not the first time that Smashing Pumpkins has had long songs, because
Mhm.
they had long songs in the past. For example, in Melancholy, they had Porcelina and the Vast Oceans, which is like a 9-minute epic. But that song fucking kicks ass
Yeah,
because
it's really
it
good.
has a lot of changes in guitar. So what do you think about Sojourner?
No, it didn't catch me. It was like, I skip. Like I don't know why, and then I tried to listen to the whole album to maybe see if the transition makes sense from Act Two to Act Three, and no, it didn't need that song.
Yeah, it's a long song that doesn't go nowhere. And a problem that this album has is that it's 3 acts, and I did listen to it as a whole, and it felt like a same album. Like,
Yeah, like it was repeating the songs. It
oh
was
my
like
God,
two
put
hours,
down the synth.
2 hours, 18 minutes.
I think this is their longest album,
I think
because
so.
not even
I don't know,
Melancholy was that long.
but
And
for me, it was too ambitious, and it became like tedious. And it's not that I was expecting a return to form or old school Smashing Pumpkins, but and I do like when bands experiment and evolve and do a new sound, but this album failed to do that too.
yeah, I think that problems with some of the songs is that they're flat.
Yeah.
Like, they sound too samely, and they kind of blend into each other. And sometimes you're like, what track am I listening to? Because what I liked about some of their albums in the past is that even if they had long songs, like, for example, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, every song is different. Every song has
Yeah.
something unique to it. There's some songs here that, I shit you not, sound the fucking same. For example, on Act 3, songs like Pacer and Cenotaph and Fireflies are the same fucking song. It's like, Sims there, Billy singing all quietly. And where are the fucking guitars? Where the fuck is Jimmy Chamberlain? Like, you have an amazing drummer. Use him, please.
Yeah.
And
And another problem I found, like listening to the whole album today, it was like the mix. Like the voice was like really loud all over the place. Like, and I read that he was the producer. I think no, just do your music and hire a good producer, a good mix engineer
where is
because
Butch Big when you need him?
hmm?
Where is Butch Big when they need him?
I know.
Yeah,
Um,
I just think it's so bloated, and bloated for no reason. I dare anyone in the comments say that they understood the story or they give a fuck about the story, because I don't know. It feels like, for example, uh, Intergalactic. When I say that, I don't know why I think of Beastie Boys. Intergalactic.
because
But no, it's not.
they
It's not
had
a
a
cover of
song.
that song. I
They
wish it was a cover of that song.
yeah.
That one is another like 8 to 9 minute song, and it tries to be epic because there's a part like it sounds like they're on outer space, and then the synth comes, but it's boring.
Yeah,
Like,
when you said intergalactic, I'm expecting someone that takes my mind to outer space and then bring me back to Earth, like something spacey. But no, it was boring.
it was like the most boring space movie ever. It's like, please, Billy, take me into space, have your way with me, and then bring me back to Earth. But yeah, it's like, it's long. It has that part that I said that has the electronics, and and when I was listening to it, the same time, I'm like, okay, now it's when the guitar thing is gonna go crazy, but no, it
No.
didn't. So it's yeah. I think we're like picking up track by track. Like for example, let's talk about Harmageddon with an H, an extra H for the cringe factor. So what do you think about that one?
Yeah, no, that song didn't catch me, and I don't understand why he can write the things like if you want to talk about an Armageddon, write it like it is. Like for example, the name of the album, uh, everybody keeps saying incorrect because it says autumn, but it's actually autumn, like autumn, the fall season.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, that song Harmageddon with the H, uh, at first it starts like a little bit rocking, but then
Mhm.
the guitar, it's like a same guitar riff the whole way through.
Yeah.
There's no fucking variation. If you're gonna sing the Armageddon, come on, give me something, Billy.
Give me
Like
something.
like shred on that guitar, but come on. And so what tracks did you like from Act Three?
Well, the first song that catch me was that which animates the spirit. I think because it catch my attention because of this after the first song, like it was too long, like boring. This one like was more upbeat.
It
That
was, yeah.
animates the spirit. It was like more like 70s, more rocker sound and more upbeat.
I
That
would
was
agree with you. Yeah, that one when that one came out, I'm like, okay, this sounds more promising. So
yeah,
yeah, that
but like there wasn't a lot of song that catch me on this album, to be honest.
what other song on Act Three did you enjoy?
And then of course I like the single,
Yeah.
and you know they pick up the singles because they were the better songs on the whole 33 songs.
Out of 33 songs, like no, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll keep this for later. But
Yeah.
yeah, Spellbinding is a good, I can see why they chose that as a single because it's more upbeat. It has more of that Smashing Pumpkins
Yeah, it has
flair
some
to it.
good chorus and the hooks, and I think it's like more radio friendly, but it has some good hooks.
Yeah, I think it reminds me a lot of that song that they put out when they did the Shiny and also Bright tour that I went to
Yeah,
that show. They had a song, I can't remember the name, but it kind of sounded like a song from that era
yeah.
of them. And I gotta talk about the album Closer, Off Wings. I recently saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, and there's a song that Bowser sings with the piano. And the beginning of that song, I shit you not, sounded like the Bowser song. And I'm listening to that song, and all of a sudden I'm like, peaches, 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 peaches. And I'm like, I love you. But no, you know what's bad? I rather listen to that
To
Bowser song
Bowser than to
than the
Smash
Off
It.
Wing song because at least it's funny. But that Off Wing starts with a piano, but it starts with a piano that takes up like 2 minutes of the song. And they done that before, like when they did Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, they had a piano intro, but you know what? It was a beautiful and it served a purpose. But
Yeah.
here, it sounded like an old fart just playing like a piano part that it wasn't that, or it didn't sound,
And
it
the
sounded like
lyrics are
something.
super weird.
I didn't, what are the lyrics about?
It keeps repeating, and it's part in Latin, something like that. Oh, let me check. It has like Latin.
Because everyone speaks Latin.
Okay. I know. And then,
Yeah.
but if you're a band, like for example, Mars Volta, they use a lot of Latin, but they have always used it. Like since the beginning, they started, they use Latin in their songs. But not Smashing Pumpkins. Why would you put
because he wants to be a pretentious fuck. He's like, how can I be more pretentious? Let's put some Latin in the music. That's what the fans want.
What is it called? Wings?
Of Wings.
Of Wings. Oh my God.
Or as I like to call it, the Bowser song.
It says.
And I tell you, I listen to that song every day when I take my son to school.
No, it's not even the lyrics here on Google. But I remember it's like really weird.
Yeah, and he sounds almost Billy Corgan on that song. He sounds like more off pitch than ever.
Yeah.
So that's why it reminded me of like,
Here it is. It says, "Oh, Agnus Dei, Deus, Agnus Dei, Agnus Dei, Agnus Dei, Agnus Dei, Deus, Agnus Dei, Deus." It keeps repeating the same. And then after repeating the same Agnus Dei, Deus for like a lot of times, it says la 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 la. And then it finishes with "Oh Clementine." I'm sorry?
Maybe he wrote that song with his kid.
I don't know. And then if it finishes with "Oh Clementine, Lord help us shine." What?
Yeah.
That's a really weird track to end the album.
They should have ended the album with Spellbinding.
Yeah.
And just like Take Off Wings. So yeah, you like two tracks, and I think I like the same tracks that you did. Spellbinding and that second one that you said, That Which Animates the Spirit. And I think In Lieu of Failure had some, it wasn't that bad, you know.
It had something. I like a little bit Pacer. Like I listen to Pacer. I like it. It's like danceable. I like it's very like rhythmic. And I like the girls' vocals in that song.
Yeah. And if anyone has seen the video for Sir, CIR, from that last Smashing Pumpkins albums, you would do the Billy Corgan dance, which is something like. Remember that dance?
Yeah.
I would like to be Billy Corgan's publicist and say, Billy, that's not sexy.
That's not sexy.
Like, please stop that dance. It looks weird.
But I like the girls' vocals in that track. But then you listen to Pacer, and then you listen to another song. It's like, is this the same song, or that's Pacer, or is that another song?
You don't know.
The only thing you can differentiate is that there's a girl singing on the chorus.
Yeah, and I think they've used those chorus girls in the last albums because they were at Sir and The Shining Also Bright. They were there too. They're like part of the band now. They used them. So yeah. So let's rate. Let's rate first part 3, and then we're gonna talk about the album as a whole and geek out for a while. So, how would you rate part 3 from a 10? From a 1 to 10?
For me, it's not that it's bad, but it's not necessary. And if you take it like as a single album, like a new album, for me, it's a 6 out of 10. And I'm being kind.
Yeah, you're being too kind. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's a 4 out of 10 for Act 3 for me. It's just boring as fuck for me. It didn't do anything for me, and yeah, I'm debating if I think Act 3 is worse than Act 1. And that's strong to say.
For me, Act 1 and Act 3, like they're equally bad. Like in Act 1, they over abuse the synthesizer, and Act 3, it's just boring.
I don't remember what score I gave Act 1. I think I gave it a high score, but I was feeling generous at the time. But now I'm like, fuck it.
I don't know if we're given a rate, but
I don't remember. We're gonna post the links for our review of Act 1 and Act 2. So if you haven't seen them, watch them as a whole. And so yeah, let's talk about the album as a whole, because like you, I sat down and I listened to the 2 hours and 18 minutes so I could get what I would feel like. Let me get the whole experience to see if I feel different. So how did you feel listening to the album as a whole?
It's too long. It's too long, too complicated, too tedious. There were songs that a lot of fillers. Someone should sit down with the band and tell them, okay, these songs are good. These you can put away and forget about them. Because if you pick a song from here and there, you can make like a one whole solid album.
I think
And not that fucking long.
I think you could, out of 33 songs, if there's 8 good songs, I would say it's a lot. And
Yeah.
8 good songs out of 33, I'm sorry, that's an F. Anywhere you look at it, that's an F, because like there's songs here that I can't even remember them. They blended together. I think
Yeah.
the best song on the album was the first single that they released, Beguiled.
Beguiled. That's a really good song.
That's the best song on the album. I liked Empires.
To see.
I liked the I think the Good and Goodbye. But then out of like the second act, I think I liked yeah, Beguiled was in the second act. I'm trying to remember. Avalanche had some good parts to it. And yeah, and in the last act, I said Spellbinding. There you have the album that would have been better if you picked those songs, in my opinion. But yeah, as I agree with you, it's too long, it's too pretentious, it's too complicated. You know, it's not as like, and I think it's not an engaging story. And I don't even think
I don't even know what the story is about.
It's about Zero. And it's something.
But what's the story about Zero?
Zero goes into space and he writes some crappy ass songs.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretentious. I don't even like the album cover. Like, let's look at this album cover. Like, this album cover doesn't say shit to me. Like, it's blue, it's black, it says the name, and then you say a rock opera in 3 acts. Like, I'm sorry.
That is pretentious as fuck.
Yeah, I would love to sit down.
Where is the rock? I'm still waiting for the rock. Because to be honest, like I if you like electronic music, if you like to do more experimental synths, you could take all those songs and make an album about that, and then all the songs that are really good about rock, and have 2 albums. And
I'm telling you,
it will be fine. Like, okay, this is my album, experimental with things and electronic, danceable. I'm into this right now. Okay, we accept it. But don't say a rock opera and don't give me any rock.
You know what's funny? Like, even that album from Def Cab for Cutie that they put out last year, it has some electronic, but it has more rock than this album.
Yeah.
Yeah, this album is just, I think Billy Corgan or William Corgan, William is suffering from an identity crisis. He doesn't know if he wants to rock. He doesn't know if he wants to like do something different. I read on an interview that he's happy if anyone listens to the music. And actually, I saw a story that he had to pay a hacker because they put out some of the songs, and I think the good ones. And oh my God, the comments were hilarious. People were like, I don't even want to listen to this pirated. Like, this album has gotten shit on. I don't know if you remember, back in 2007, when they put out Zeitgeist, that was an album that was quite divisive, and I never understood why. I actually loved that album.
I like it. Yeah.
I think the mixing was kind of loud, but it was a good Smashing Pumpkins album. There was rock in it and variety, but he just doesn't know what he wants to do, and it's too long. And I think for right now, he's just giving. I think he should refocus on what he wants to do and not do these super long mega opuses, because it's not the same as in the 90s. He doesn't have the same fire.
No.
He can be a great songwriter when he puts his mind to it, but these songs are not it.
No.
Yeah, the lyrics.
No, I think, and I said it before. I don't know if we were talking Act 1 or Act 2. He's suffering from old age. Like, you're not accepting that you're getting old. You're a dad now. You're a husband. You live in the suburbs. Like, you're not that emo kid whining and suffering. Like, write about your life now. Like, you could do something like really good. But I think he doesn't want to accept, like, he's not the guy from Melancholy anymore.
Yeah, and also like saying that this is a continuation of one of the best albums from the 90s is never a good idea.
No, you could like do an album, and then if people catch up, oh, I think this is like a follow-up to Melancholy, and let people decide that. But don't say it. It's like so pretentious, and then like that was like a great album from the 90s. Like, it's gonna be hard to top up.
Yeah, it's more like we said in one of the videos, it's a continuation of the Sir.
And like to prove that point, when you buy the box set of Autumn, it has like a 4 album, and it's the B-sides of Sir. So
I can tell you I'm not gonna buy it.
No, me neither. Not even in CD or cassette or anything. Like, it doesn't deserve my money.
I can say off the top of my mind now that I'm not going to listen to this album ever again. Not even the singles. Even the singles are not that great. That's the thing. No. So now we're gonna rate the album as a whole. So as a whole, as a free act, 1 out of 10. What do you say?
Like I said, it's too long, too complicated, and even for hardcore fans to sit down and listen to 2 hours and 18 minutes, it's too much. And if you give me like a really good album for 2 hours, okay. But even for hardcore fans, I know they're not gonna sit and listen to this album. It has a lot of fillers. And for me, like, I like Act 2 better than Act 1 and Act 3. And only for that, I could give it like 6, 7. I'm not sure. Like, I'm divided.
Yeah, I'm not divided. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's a 50, an F.
A 50?
And some people would say I'm being generous. But yeah, it's not a good, it's like it's not good. Like some YouTubers would say, it's not a good album as a whole. I think there's a reason he divided this into 3 parts, because not even he could sit down and listen to this fucking album all the way through. It's tedious. It feels like homework, and that's not a good thing in music. So
no.
Yeah, I give it a 5.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious what he's gonna follow up now after this ambitious, pretentious album.
Yeah, I wish he would follow up like what he did in Oceania from 2011. That was a great Smashing Pumpkins album
Yeah.
Very underrated. So people, we want to know, what did you think of Atom or Autumn as a whole? Like, what would you rate Act 1? What would you rate Act 2? And what would you rate Act 3?
And the whole album as a whole.
And of course, Billy Corgan, if you watch this video, I still love you, Billy.
Mr. William.
Mr. William, I still love you. I'm still a fan of the Smashing Pumpkins, but please, for the love of music, stop doing this to fans. We just want an album with guitars and
drums, like real drums, not drum machine.
Please use Jimmy and use James. Please use them because they're part of the band.
Yes.
So, people, if you like the videos that we're putting out, do not forget to give us a like, and do not forget to subscribe. We have more content and more collaborations on the way. And if you can, please subscribe to my friend Senorita Sabrosura's channel, and also buy her merch, which she has on sabrosura.art. And you can get those stylish earrings that she's wearing right now, and other stuff like mugs and other things that you can get. And if you like, please subscribe to me. We are at over the 700 something mark. So the race for 1,000 is on. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield on the Couch.
Señorita Sabrosura.
And we'll see you next time right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.